To do a little video tonight as I sit back and enjoy a beer. And this is my third time trying to get this thing to run. No thanks to YouTube, which sucks a lot of the time now because they've complicated things on being able to run a live stream. So it's been a little bit of an issue making sure everything is coming through properly. So hopefully you do see me coming through there now, and it is set up and running, which it looks to be. They always are messing with stuff on YouTube. Just leave it alone. Stop messing with shit all the time. You're breaking it. Cut it out. What's up, head coach? Cheers, brother. Welcome. First comment, my friend. Big shout out to Keep Sipping over there with Craft Beer Pours and JO. They actually had a really good bourbon stream tonight. If you guys got to check it out, they're still going a little bit over there, I think, with the panel right now, but wanted to jump off and do a beer video. But found out some nice, good details. Jo was laying down some nice knowledge on how to enjoy your bourbon whiskeys. But tonight, I'm about to get into this Colorado beer from Breckenridge. It is their Imperial Vanilla Porter. It is aged in rum barrels. Put the barrel before it. I just want to get into it so much. I'm talking in circles here. 13.4% ABV. Nice looking label as always that comes with them. They do have a nice date on here on the bottle too. And nothing else really outside of their basic label. And if you know Breckenridge out of Colorado, you know they do some pretty good beer stuff. So let's go ahead and get this baby into the glass. And tonight I'm actually going to be using a snifter glass, courtesy of Mickey's stuff she's doing. It is Black and Brew Chicago Diversity in Brewing in Chicago. Got the shirt on as well. Decided to just throw that on tonight. Give some props out to the Chicago peeps. You know what I'm saying? And with the weather dropping like it is, not a bad day to have a Imperial aged porter. This morning it was 14 or 12 degrees, I believe, so that is definitely cold. So there you go. Nice, dark looking beer because it is a porter. Got a pretty good tan head on it, about a finger, maybe slightly more than that, and that's going to break down here probably in a little bit with the high ABV. Nice feel of the vanilla coming through, a nice feel of the rum. Reminds me of some of the rum drinks that I had when I was down in, where did we go on vacation just recently? We went to, we went to Mexico last year. We went to Jamaica this past year. So we went to Jamaica. Before that, we went to Cancun, and before that, Dominican Republic. So down in Jamaica, had a lot of rum drinks, and it kind of brings back some of myself remembering those. Definitely get a nice feel of the booziness coming out. Already the head is down to about a quarter finger, as you can see. So, as I mentioned, it is breaking down rather easily. It's got a little bit of a caramel type character in there as well. Definitely get a nice little bit of sweetness coming out as far as the taste. Oh, that's smooth. But it is boozy. There's no escaping that part of it. Get nice tones of chocolate in the mouth. A nice stickiness in the cheeks. Kind of latching on with some of that flavor. Feel a little bit of a chocolate tone, but a little bit of a syrupy feel in that texture, and getting that caramel flavor as well coming through. Good amount of sweetness, has a little bit of a richness quality to it. What's up, Chris? Cheers, Eastwind, my friend. Cheers, Gilbert. Really sits on the lips. Really feel that booziness in play. I mean, a few of these will definitely get you lit. Hey, what's happening, Leprechaun? Cheers. So tonight I'm actually checking out, and this is part of the Brewery Lane series, the Breckenridge Imperial Vanilla Porter. So I've had the Vanilla Porter many a time, as I was mentioning earlier, but never had the Imperial version. Saw it, decided to pick it up. It's got a nice little bit of warmth to it as well. Almost a little bit of a butterscotch appeal there in the flavor too. Something a little different there. Wouldn't be bad as kind of a dessert type beer, which I've had the base vanilla porter with desserts before, but it has a little bit of a kind of butterscotch syrupy effect that takes place on it. Is Breckenridge Brewery the same as the distillery? I believe they do have the distillery in Colorado as well. And a lot of these breweries now have distilleries under them. If they're out of Colorado, I would definitely say it's definitely the same because these guys like guard their names so carefully. I was trying to read the date on here. It has a date, but I think it's a date out to 20. It's out to next year. Might be like May or August something 20, but it's out there to next year. So I will say on the back end, in my mind, it has a little bit of a tinge, some dark fruit being in there, a little bit of a feel, a slight bit of something like maybe like a licorice type feel. A little bit of a raisin type feel in there too. But it's definitely a big beer. And Breckenridge does some really good stuff out of Colorado. On a cold night, this will do you just fine. I haven't had a lot of the rum barrel beers. I've had a good amount, but not as much as the bourbon barrel. I see more and more breweries now doing rum barrel beers, and definitely something I want to keep checking out. I would like to see more do gin barrel beers because the few I've had that were gin barrel were actually really decent. Breckenridge makes damn tasty bourbons too. Yeah. What's up, 29? First time on the live. Cheers. Yeah, welcome. Decided to get it in tonight and share the beer I was having, so appreciate you being here. I was actually over on Keep Sipping stream watching them tonight because they were doing a bourbon tasting and Jo was on there breaking down bourbon, which is kind of funny because I live in the bourbon state here in Kentucky. Jo actually doesn't live too far from me, and there's just so many things I didn't know about the bourbon, so it was really interesting, really fascinating. And it's funny, all the bars I've went to around Kentucky, they usually drink out of rocks glasses rather than especially bourbon glasses. So I guess I'm not going to the fancy places, but picked up a lot of good knowledge. Want to try to do some more bourbon stuff and we get some of the glasses and try to pick out some of the stuff they were doing there. But they did a real good job on their stream. So glad Trish put that together for sure. This is definitely one you would kind of sip through over a period of time. I don't think you really want to chug this. The more I'm getting down to it now, I'm getting a little bit more of that dark fruitiness. I'm actually starting to feel something like a prune type feel in there as well, a fig type feel. It's interesting. I almost prefer the regular to the Imperial one that I'm having right now. I almost feel like it may have went overboard on getting all the stuff in here. Yeah, that'd be cool. 29. I'm not to that level comfortable. I think enough. I mean, I've tasted some whiskeys on here in a few videos, but to get to the point to study that, but you got to start somewhere, right? So maybe I will go ahead and try some of the bourbon beers. What up, Todd? What's going on, my friend? Cheers. Glad you were able to get that drive. So now we can play baseball on the PS4. Get that stuff all set. and, and tomorrow night we'll have the beer flow show. It seems like this week actually has went through pretty quick. It's quicker this week than it did last week, which I'm okay with. I was reading a study recently about how more companies are experimenting with going to 4 day weeks. So you'd have 4 10-hour days, and you're off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think I'd definitely be down with that. And some of the countries overseas, they kind of do it that way as well, which is pretty cool. But you think you can handle 4 10 days and then you're off 3 days? When you think about stuff, driving to work, how long you're probably at work, coming back home from work and everything, you probably put in more time than an 8 or 9 hour day anyway. Could be your worst nightmare. Oh well. What on baseball? You trying to say you can baseball? Hopefully, you play baseball better than basketball. That's all I'm saying. But again, you control Madden. I don't mess with you in Madden. Yeah, I think it'd be awesome as well. Interesting brew. This isn't one that really drives me as much. It's decent. It's kind of what to be expected, but I wouldn't have a lot of these or many of these. I think for me, this is kind of more of a I think more of a 3.75 out of 5. It's decent. I felt like it was overdone that more than they needed to. Yes, on baseball, lol. It's kind of like some of the beers they make. They don't always need to barrel some stuff or how they come together. It's kind of like you're trying to do too much, maybe. Like that meme, just too much, too much. Do a good 12 hours a day for working. Yeah, so you're already tied up for like 12 hours, but if you had like a 10-hour workday, plus think about this, if you had a 10-hour workday, you're probably going in and leaving on off shifts versus everybody else. So you're in a time frame where it's not going to be as many people maybe in a row, so you might even get home a little bit better. Let's get some Dom Perignon. None of that in the house. But I don't know if any of you guys have had this one or not. If so, let me know what you think about it. Leave a comment in the comment section. Be back and forth to the States with work and visit a family. Was surprised how huge baseball was. Always thought people were more in the NBA and NFL. For 10-hour workdays would be awesome. Yeah. 4 10-hour workdays would be awesome. Well, here, I mean, baseball for the longest time was like the main sport as far as, America's game or whatever. But I think the NFL is more of that now. I think the NBA has picked up some, but I would put baseball probably a little bit ahead of the NBA. Some people don't like to watch the NBA as much. They criticize like the players not playing as defense. Now, college basketball people seem to watch a little bit more than the NBA, depending where you're at. But at this point, NFL is probably the biggest. So, what's anybody else drinking tonight? Anybody else sipping on anything for a hump day? I figured tomorrow night we talk about the AB and Bev purchase of the craft brewer alliance. I was going to bring that up on the show tomorrow as one of the topics. There were a couple other news items that came out earlier today as well that I was going through. One of the breweries actually launched an image on their site about there was a woman that had a black eye, and they were saying something about get your black eye IPA or something here, and that did not go over well. That was taken down within a couple hours. It's like, what do you guys like think? Knowing how people are going after people for stuff, I mean, whatever the intent was, you knew people would look at it like some type of domestic type situation, and then basically propaganda off of that. So that'll be interesting to see how that pops up some more. There was also the shots fired from Shiner at one of the other breweries that put up a sign in their hometown that he didn't like. That was owned by AB and Bev. So not tonight. Saving it for the Beer Flow show. Cracked open a Citra Noel. Now, who makes the Citra Noel 29? And Sean said, I'm on a beer we get over here called Bass. It's a malt based drink. Yeah, I've had Bass Ale back in the day. It's been a while since I've had a Bass Ale, but I have had it back like high school and college. We had some of those. Been through a lot of beers in my lifetime, apparently. Fuller's London Pride and some James Pepper Rye for later. Nice. Yeah, I didn't know if you got a chance, Gilbert, to pop over to Keep Sipping stream earlier when they were doing the bourbon. I didn't. I don't think I saw you in there. Did I? That you didn't maybe pop in. Maybe you came in after I had popped out for a bit. But they had a pretty good stream going through whiskey and stuff. Oh, Columbus Brewing Company. All right. Um, Speaking of Columbus Brewing Company, when I was in Columbus a couple months ago, they had a really good IPA that just came out. Let me see what it is here so I can remember. I always like checking out what Columbus Brewing is doing when I'm up in that area. Bodie. Have you had the Bodie from Columbus Brewing 29? It's their Imperial IPA, and that is legit. That's really good. That's the one that's getting hard to get here now. Are they maybe cutting the production on the Bass sale? They're not selling them as much. Do you think they might be fading away there? Bass Ale has been around for a while. I can remember like the old Bass neon signs you would see at the bars and everything. I will check them out. Could use a link. A link to. What are you saying? A link to? Oh, you need a link to Trisha's channel. Yeah, I can put that on here. Give me a second here. Hey, Mary, how you doing? It's been a while. Hopefully things have been well. Let me grab a link for Eric here for Trisha's channel. Because they're going to have a pretty good replay on it, too. I mean, J.O. just knows his stuff, and he was on there, and you could have been there taking notes on the stuff they were getting into with the bourbon. Let's see here. Eric, that's the link to Trisha's channel right there. Breweries everywhere in Cleveland now. Yeah, Cleveland's got good stuff. I mean, Ohio is really just kind of growing. You got Cleveland, you got Akron, you got Columbus, where I'm down here in Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati. You got Cincinnati, you got Dayton doing stuff. You got stuff out like in Athens, like around Jackie O and all that. I mean, the state has just got so many good breweries lined up around here now. And then I also like Creeper from CBC. I haven't had Creeper. Take a look, see what that one is. I do get some of their distribution at a few places down from Columbus, so I do look out for some of their beers. So Creeper's also a double IPA. That's 10% ABV. That one's got some pretty good ranking behind it as well. Eventually, when I go back to Columbus, I need to go over to the brewery to do a video there as well. Doesn't Bass Ale claim to be the original first pale ale? I don't know. Let me take a look. It came out in 1777. One of the highest selling beers in the UK. Wow, in 1877, they were the largest brewery in the world. Yeah, they do. The world's first pale ale is what they are called there. Way to go, Todd. If I had beer trivia going, you'd have been a big winner chicken dinner. Patsy's been my go-to 15 years ago, plus pedigree. Cheers. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like back in high school, college, we used to drink Bass Ale and stuff. Yeah, that'd be kind of a cool sign. I should try to get a Bass Ale sign for the wall behind me. Now, I will say with this one, now that it's warming up a little bit more, it does get a little bit more smooth out. So it is getting better as it actually sits. That you are spitting knowledge. But definitely super strong multi feel with this one. Yeah, I'll have to find some more topics for us to discuss tomorrow. Who knows, Todd? Will we have Shannon? People were asking about Shannon coming on tomorrow as well, so let her know. People are asking for her. What's up, Jeremy? Cheers, brother. And Jeremy was over there on the stream as well. We were talking about and watching Keep Sipping on the Bourbon. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff shared. Now, it's probably not like most of the stuff has probably changed or something, but I'm sure over the years the Bass Ale has been affected like many other beers out there. But as long as it's still tasty. I was going to do a Belgian ale tonight, but it was like a 22-ounce bottle, and I was like, I don't want to do a big one there. That one I was going to do, I think it was like 15%. Uh, be careful what you ask for. Oh, we know what we get when we get Shannon, so I'm just saying Shannon's become the fan favorite for sure. So, Jeremy, you drinking anything at all right now? Or Todd, you just say if you're drinking anything or if you're just kind of relaxing. Doubt she will. She works tomorrow. Has been under the weather all week, but snapping out of it a bit. All right. No, we definitely want her to take care of herself. But she can come on with some hot tea and whiskey. Bomber bottles are hard to stop once open. No, I mean, if you open a bomber, you got to finish it. So you got to knock it out. The last 2 nights, I had a couple of those crowlers, and it was like, I don't really want to drink another bomber tonight. Those crowlers are 32 ounces, so I was like, let me grab a 12 ounce. And what I do, I grab a 12 ounce, that's 13.4 ABV. Yeah, that helps. You're not drinking anything tonight? There you go. Keep yourself fresh for tomorrow, my friend. Let's see here. Yeah, then there was a thing earlier today. I put on the Twitter. I think I put on the Facebook page as well that somebody put F blank PG&E as one of the beers they released out in California with all the outages taking place, and apparently the brewery got slammed by people that were taking it as an attack on the employees, which they weren't really trying to do. But with all the stuff that we've seen and breweries posting stuff that was questionable, you would just think somebody would be starting to pull some of these things in a little bit more. Drinking a local brew, Lost 40 S'mores Forest Queen Stout. It's really good. Cheers. Wow, that sounds really good. I've actually got the s'mores that I'm going to do from Mad Tree at some point. I'm looking forward to drinking that one. Hey, you might be getting them now, 29 Ammo. I think Mad Tree's up in your area too now. Oh, right there out of Little Rock, Lost 40 Brewing. It's got a cool looking can to it. Flavors of graham cracker, chocolate, and marshmallow. That's supposed to be like a bunny on a can, Jeremy? That's one, I don't know, like one evil looking bunny there. Let's see. General Cal's chicken flavored beers for women. Mad Tree is a s'mores beer. Yeah, it's Campfire S'mores, I think, that just came out. Let's see. I think it's Campfire. Let me take a look here. Oh no, it's actually S'more Gratitude. I'm thinking of somebody else, I guess. But it's 7.5 ABV, and it is their stout that is inspired by the classic Campfire treat. Graham cracker, vanilla beans, lactose, as well cocoa powder and cocoa nibs. So I've actually got one in the cooler, but I have not done it yet. So I'm going to be doing a review on that at some point here. And there's a lot of good flavor beers too, General. So beer, beer, if it's good, drink it. It doesn't not made for men or women. Ooh, that's a good one. 29. The Mad Tree Bourbon Barrel Aged Axis Monday for 2017 or 18. Look out for the s'mores. Yeah, the Axis Monday is a great series that Mad Tree actually puts out. They also have the other one, the June, which is gin barreled, and that one is really good too. If you ever see that one there. And you guys are probably getting Rheingeist as well. Yeah, I'm not sure when the Mad Tree one came out officially, but it was like in the last couple weeks or maybe a month that it came out. Definitely looking forward to enjoying that one now. I almost did that one tonight as well. But I was like, well, I'm going to do just one. I want one that's going to have a little bit of a kick to it so I can hit that relax mode. Oh, you have both the axes as well, Todd. Nice. I'm going to try to not buy any more beer anytime soon so I can get through the beers I actually have here. Hopefully, I don't come across any Rajay deals. Cheers, Billy. Billy was also over on the stream. That was a really good stream on Trisha's channel, I would say. And happy birthday to Billy. Today's Billy's birthday, we found out. Yeah, okay, Bourbon Barrel Inc. is in the cellar. My favorite natty brewery. Yeah, I mean, Ryan Geist does a good job. Here's the thing: it's kind of like they're getting a lot of exposure, but we have so many other breweries here that are doing a bang up job. So Todd's, who's in the chat, just came up here recently a couple months ago. I don't know if you saw the video. We all got together, me, him, Joe, and Eric, and we went to Braxton Labs, which does a great job. Street Side, who you don't know unless you're in the city, really does a great job. They end up going over to Listerman, that does great stuff too, and Rye Guys does a good job on their beers. Don't get me wrong, but there's so many good ones that we have around here. I mean, you're just bumping into breweries. We just had a couple more just opened up recently, so and now we've got Friday. We've got Brewdog open in their Cincinnati location. So we'll have Brewdog in the city. We also have a platform in the city now too. So lots of beer being shared and consumed here. Which I'm actually surprised we don't even have. We have a good amount. I'm surprised we don't have more considering we have the second biggest Oktoberfest in the world. You would think outside of Munich, we have the biggest Oktoberfest. That if we have that big, you would think there'd be maybe more breweries per capita, but I don't know what our ranking is per capita. But when I see other places and they say we got 100 here or 200 there, and I'm like, well, we got like 60 through the area, but should we have more? I don't know. But one thing's for sure, we don't run out of beer. You're welcome. Oh, you postponed your birthday dinner for that stream. Jo was awesome. Yeah, Jo was dropping a lot of knowledge over there, and it's just funny because he was actually going through a lot of the stuff he was talking about with the beers. I mean, sorry, with the bourbons. And I'm here thinking like Jo lives like probably 10 minutes from me, 15 minutes from me. And I'm like, all the stuff he was dropping, all the stuff that we have around us, and I'm thinking of all the bars I went to, and it was like I never really experienced the bourbon the way he was actually pointing it out. So I definitely want to get more involved in that. I got like Boone County Distilleries like 5 minutes from my house, and we're not too far right off the Bourbon Trail, of course, through Kentucky. But everybody I go to, every place we go to, they actually put your bourbon usually in rocks glasses, right? Or tall glasses if you're mixing it with something. So rarely do you see some of the glasses there unless you're probably going to some of the cigar and bourbon type places. So what's up, Foamy Head? How's it going down to Texas tonight? Hopefully you guys are warm because I think everybody else is pretty cold. This morning it was like 12 degrees here. So tasty IPA for 21st Amendment. Cheers. 21st Amendment. I do like their beers as well. Thanks, Tuo. When hot young girls call you sir and hold the door for you, you know you're wrong. Don't let that sit with you too much, Billy. I know that's messing with your head there. Them holding the door for you earlier. That's pretty funny. Well, YouTube admins want to drink as well, I guess. So yeah. Which anybody like you guys have, everybody has here like has the YouTube channels. If you haven't checked yet, when you go to your YouTube studio, because what YouTube is doing now, you have to check off on a box if your channel or it is for children, or if you don't do it for the whole channel, it'll ask you every video, is this child approved? So if you haven't seen that yet, be prepared for that when you go in there. And it's a little bit of a pain, but it is what it is. So I guess my main account is banned. my chat bot. What is YouTube administrator? Is it chat? I don't know. It says it's a chat bot, but I don't know if somebody's just got that as a name, their name for their YouTube handle or something. So nothing that I put on the YouTube channels. In fact, my bots want to work half the time. I got Nightbot, but it hardly ever pops up. I think if you type something in all caps, sometimes Nightbot will pop up and say don't do that. But I got the other one, which is Stream Elements, and that's not saying much either. Cheers, Jeremy. My main channel is banned on Raw Chat. I don't know why. I don't know why either. It was below freezing the last 2 nights. 39 for low tonight. Oh wow. Which in Texas, I mean, 39 is still pretty cold. But up here where we're at, we're like in the teens or below. What's up, Alan? Cheers, brother. And Billy said, I said to my wife, when do hot girls go from checking me out to feeling sorry for the old guy holding the door? You got to let them know you're not old. You're just better. You're wiser now. uh, yeah, we all get up there, don't we? So, snowed there yesterday where you're at. Well, you're right there too, like in kind of that corner, the Delmar area. Did you get a lot of snow, or was it like just a couple inches? Hopefully, it's not like when the Carolinas get snow, because they get snow, they shut everything down because they're not even prepared for it. 36 was the high today. 2 days ago, 70. Yeah. See, we were 60 on Monday, and by the end of the day, it was down to like 20 or something. All right, Todd. Thanks for swinging by. Yeah, we'll catch up tomorrow night and have some fun. Go through a lot of the beer stuff, of course. I got articles we'll be sharing. Kind of want to talk about the whole AB and Bev buying Craft Beer Alliance. Either way, thumbs up. I like that. Thumbs up from both accounts. Thank you, sir. No, just a few inches and melted already. Okay. Yeah, we barely got anything, but they were making it sound like crazy on the news. And, they make it sound crazy, and everybody's all in Kroger getting all the food and stuff. And it's like nothing really happens as bad as you thought it was going to be. Alan said, Billy, as we get older, we're like a good stout to be enjoyed and not drank so fast. Like a nice barrel aged stout. I don't know. I think we were at a higher stamina than some of the youngsters too. I only say that because I like some of the guys I work with that are like younger and they're going to go party. They say, well, I got to go home and take a nap before we go out. We never took naps before we went out. We got done working. We went home and we went out afterwards. Snow and windy and freezing in the North Shore of Lake Ontario. Well, where you're at, Eric, yeah, you guys are definitely, I'm sure, getting hit up there in Canada. Yeah, Rajay, there's going to be technically no true craft available unless the store sells local. Yeah. Oh, my wife will not let me live. The girl's holding the door for me. She's also younger than me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The locals have to get the space in the store, though, so they have to go up against some of these bigger breweries to be able to get that space. But that's why I like to try to hit like a lot of the independent local shops when I buy beer if I can. People that specialize in it. My sentiments exactly. I don't understand it, but some they got to go home and do that ahead of time. Got a good 10 inches money. Wow. But you know what, Gilbert? You guys are probably used to it up there in Canada. People down here will freak out. Billy says he hates snow. I'm not a huge snow fan. My favorite seasons are probably spring and fall. Kind of get it like not too hot. Got nice comfortable weather. Although like this year, I knew it was going to go from summer to winter pretty quickly. We were going to jump fall, and we didn't get a lot of the spring. We got a little early on, but then it got real hot. Get your scooter to ride around in backwoods, and it really feels sorry for you. There you go. Go to your grocery store and get in the motorized cart to go shopping. I've seen some people use the motorized carts at the grocery store, and I don't know if they're actually needing the cart, or they're just lazy, don't want to walk around because they seem to get out of the cart to get what they need and get back in rather easily. So I remember getting off work, cashing my check, getting a bite, and then heading to the club, then a 24-hour spot, driving home, half drunk 7 a.m. to wake up at 4 p.m. and do it again on the weekends. Yeah. Yeah, those were the times. Yeah. I mean, you would go from happy hour and you might go for a while after that. And the next thing you know, you went office happy hour and then you guys are still drinking later on. You might end up at a party or something like that. And it's like 3 a.m. before you get to the house. Get the GT Snow Racer out, son. Yeah. And then Jerry said, actually, we go to Jeremy. Billy said, actually, we go to Walmart and see kids in the electric scooters just playing around. Oh, wow. I've never seen a kid in an electric scooter. Although Walmart is that store you can kind of just go and just observe people, and you might be surprised, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times a day with some of the stuff you'll see. Yeah, doing demolition derby with them. Jeremy says, "Hey, what's happening, Trish? Yeah, I saw a thing earlier. It got delivered today, but I didn't want to ask in the stream when you were doing it. And great stream, by the way. That was a great stream you guys had with Jo. A lot of good bourbon stuff. It was fun to watch and everything. So glad you end up putting that together. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out too and everything. Hopefully, it's nice and comfortable for you." Oh, you're welcome. Always love coming by the stream. For me, it's just about finding the time to be able to do that stuff. So I always try to get out to support as much as you guys always come in and support me too. So it was awesome. It was great seeing Jay up again. He seemed like he was in good spirits, so that was great. I need to actually just give him a call because he's only like 15 minutes from me and get together with him for some drinks or something. Billy said we used to party for days, no sleep. What's with these kids? Yeah, Billy, that's what we called the '80s. In the '80s, we we were definitely doing that for sure. Oh, Billy says cheers to Tristan Brandon, and Jeremy said, "Yeah, great one. Couldn't get on the panel. It was so many. Yeah, it was really a great one that Keep Sipping had. Trish had. It was awesome. Material is soft and small, good for women. Awesome. Okay, great. I'm glad you like it." And then Alan said, "Cheers, keep sipping. How did the tasting go? Took a nap and missed it." It was awesome. I'll answer for Alan. It was awesome. And then Billy also says, "Good stream, Trish." Yeah, and I was mentioning before you got here, it's just so funny because, like I said, Jo's here with I am. We're in the bourbon state of Kentucky, and just some of the stuff he was pointing out, I had never really seen before. A lot of the places we go to drink, they give you the bourbon and you give it to you like in a rocks glass or whatever, so you're not really drinking out of like the specialty whiskey glass because it's usually like at a dinner place or something like that we're usually at. If you go to some of the places that might be like a bourbon bar with cigars or something like that, you might have those glasses there. But it was just awesome, and we actually have, and I don't know if Jo brought it up on your stream before I had to take off. We have the largest bourbon bar in the world in Kentucky now. We used to have it, and then Japan had it for a while because Japan drinks a lot of bourbon. But in Newport, Kentucky, we actually have the largest bourbon bar. And what I mean by that, we have the most bourbon selection under one roof. It was great. Appreciate you all. Bourbon may be my new drink. And then Alice had took anxiety meds and passed out after the wife got home. Well, hopefully you're good now, brother. And then Trish says, "I'm glad I could help JL out. He needed this." Yeah, it was awesome. And I put that comment in there. I don't know if you got a chance to see it. I know you put it up on the stream as well. But where we're at here, he should be doing like some presentations to people and doing it like through the I forgot what site I mentioned on there at the time, but Eventbrite. Like he could be doing some Eventbrite shows and getting people to sign up and come out there and learn about bourbon. It'd be a great opportunity for him. He just knows it in and out so easily. Billy said, "Trish, I think the spirits in general would be a great fit with beer, wine, flavored malt beverages." He didn't. I feel like I need 3 streams on bourbon. Well, it's all a matter of just getting used to it, right? So as you learn, you're not going to pick everything up in the first time, but the more you do it, the more you catch on and the more you grow. Bourbon gets its hooks in you. It's a wrap. Yeah. And Kentucky is the bourbon capital of the world. That's right. And I screenshot it on my phone and a few others to text him tomorrow. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mentioned, I did a video the other day, and I went out to Braxton Labs to get a couple of their beers, and they actually are in the party source. And the section where J.O. would usually work, where he would do whiskey and do samples and explain stuff to people, there's like hardly anything. This was on Saturday, and Saturday is usually a busy day for them, obviously, with being the weekend. There was like one guy there in and out that would give people a sample here, but he didn't really know how to break it down like J.O. used to break it down. And J.O. would have people lined up to try stuff, and he'd be recommending stuff. People would be buying it. I think Party Source really screwed up when they let him go. Myself, that's my feel on it. Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and we have places that would do space and stuff that he could actually do it at. We have some of the different stores. I know a few that if we wanted to set something up, they'd probably put him on board with it. Yeah, for Trisha's channel to add spirits on there. Well, keep sipping. You got wide open stuff you could be doing on that, right? So you can definitely put the spirits in there for sure. Alan says Maker's Mark and Elijah Craig is my drink of choice when I drink bourbon. And those are good choices. And then Trish said, oh, someone had that Craig one. Yeah, so Elijah Craig's pretty popular. Maker's Mark as well. Some of the breweries here in Kentucky, they use them for their barreling and stuff too. I need to go to the bourbon trail at some point and try to do a video doing that. So we got so many distilleries, I just gotta get out and do it. Hey, what's happening, Dad? What's going on, my friend? Cheers, brother. Just here shooting the gab now. I did a review earlier talking about the Imperial Vanilla Porter from Breckenridge out of Colorado. And this is a 13.4% ABV aged in rum barrels. Yeah, I always loved drinking bourbon. Bourbon is something I got more into. Although I'm trying different things, and I showed one of the bottles last night. When J.O. was working at Party Source, he put in a couple for me to try, and there was a couple Japanese whiskeys that I'm actually working through right now. All right, I bet you are. Thanks for swinging by, Trish. Get some rest, and definitely catch up with you later. Elijah Craig 12 is amazing. Makers make some. Is it Michter's make some good bourbon too? Okay. I just need to try some more to get my bourbon game up to speed. Can't go wrong with moonshine, Jeremy. That's speaking of moonshine, I need to plan like a trip to Gatlinburg again, because we go to Gatlinburg down in Tennessee. You always stock up on moonshine, and it's just like moonshine in a hot tub. Got some of that too. Leinenkugel Snowdrift Vanilla Porter. From Leinenkugels and some of their line, the Snowdrift Vanilla Porter is one of my more favorite ones from them that I actually do enjoy. That's always a nice one to have, especially around this time of year. Dang, missed the review. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Well, it's a good beer. I gave, my personal was like 3.75 that I gave it. I would definitely, I would say if you like it, be prepared for the booziness because you do get hit with a little bit more. I do like the regular vanilla porter from Breckenridge probably more than this one. I felt like they threw too much into this one that it just kind of saturated things, but it's decent enough. I mean, you can sit there and enjoy it. It's definitely a sipper for sure. So if you happen to see it out there, I wish I had the other one to do a side by side. The other one's a little bit more smoother. The other one, the base vanilla porter from Breckenridge, I'll have that like with a dessert or something. Like it goes well if you're having like a piece of chocolate fudge cake or something with chocolate in it as a dessert. You can actually pair it nicely. This one I think was just a little bit more heavier. That I don't know if I really want to have that along those lines. Good stuff. Yeah, and 29 says I like the taste of Buffalo Trace, but got to work in the morning. Cheers. Yeah. Yeah, so you can't do it's still a school night, people. Still a school night. Her right on. And you probably do get this out there where you're at, Dad, too, because you're closer than I am to Colorado as well. But that's to look at the bottle there as well. But they do a nice job as part of their Brewery Lane series, and I've always been a fan of Breckenridge. I think they've always done some pretty good beers. So, but they're actually one of the other ones now, right? That started as a craft brewery, but they have their investment. I think they're under AB and Bev is the one that has them as well. Um, but again, if they make a good beer, I'm still going to try it there. I may not get them as much, but I'm still going to definitely give them a try, see what it tastes like. And then Billy said, some friends of mine, we were young teenagers in West Virginia, had property. When we left Baltimore, been a moonshiner, boys. If it burns blue, it is good. Hey, what's happening, Peter D? What's going on, my friend? Just here shooting the gab now after enjoying a little beer tonight, the Breckenridge Imperial Vanilla Porter. And Hump Day. Hump Day's almost over. We're 2 days away from the weekend. Looking forward to that for sure. The week is definitely jumping through rather quickly. And then anybody else drinking on anything? Dad, are you drinking anything tonight, or you got any big plans for the weekend to be grilling, or some videos where you're going to be barbecuing? We still got to do the collab. I'm thinking about. I had to make a note. I gotta send you a thing so we can try to get something set up so we can do a collab and we can talk about like pairing barbecue and pairing beer. If I don't write things down, I will forget them for sure. Hey, what's up, Brew Review? Cheers, my friend. Yeah, I actually just finished the Breckenridge Imperial Vanilla Porter. Not sure if you've had this one. Um, Interesting. Aged in rum barrels. I kind of prefer the base version more than that, but it's decent enough. You're watching at work right now. I get people that are always watching at work, like when the boss comes around, like, oh, better turn it off real quick. Yeah, so we'll have to get something done there. It might be easier to coordinate maybe something towards the weekend or something, but definitely want to try to do something to hook up there. Let me see. And then Bruce said, "What did I think? Haven't had it yet." No, I was like, I thought it was decent enough. I thought it was solid as far as being an imperial type beer. I thought it was overly done, maybe with some of the alcohol coming through. It was you had a nice sweetness to it, which you kind of expect it to have, but you almost had like a caramel butterscotch type feel in there as well, kind of like a candy type flavor in the some of the taste quality, and the booziness just kind of played on top of everything. So it's like I like to have a good imperial beer, but not have the booziness take everything away where you're missing out on other stuff. I just felt like they threw a lot of stuff into it that may have not been needed. You got a lot of the dark fruit flavors. I got some plum kind of in there, some raisin, things like that, a little bit of a licorice type feel. But 13.4 ABV. As it warms up, it gets a little bit more smoother. But I also got a feel like on the back end where I always hate to say like kind of like a medicine or like in this case like a prune juice type feel, but it was definitely something a little bit there. Um, Brandy would be better with vanilla, but I agree. Brandy would be a decent one, and I've got some different brandy beers that I've had. The best one I've had was actually out of Spain, and it worked really well. I would prefer to see probably a brandy than a rum in that regard for sure. And let me see here. Oh, Dad said I'm the boss. So yeah, Dad's laid it down at work. He's in charge. He's the boss there. um, Yep. Once I fired myself, but then realized I was too valuable to let go and rehired myself. I hear you there, brew review. Yeah, but I mean, it's always about what everybody's palate kind of picks up. Um, yeah, so like plum tasting could be brown. Yeah, like you could have someone could taste that and also feel like a brown sugar type feel to it as well. That's how some of the sweetness also play through on it. Um, it just didn't really jump out at me as much. Like I said, the regular base vanilla porter, I really enjoy. So when I saw that, I went to pick it up. And sometimes going big doesn't always work for a beer. I've had bourbon barreled IPAs, and I've been like, why would you even want to bourbon barrel this with the IPA? You kind of ruined it a little bit, but that was just my take on it. Yeah, exactly. I'm on the same page. A lot of barrel aged stuff seems a little too heavy on the rum, kind of over takes every other cool aspect that might be lurking in it. Right. So you want to enjoy it. You don't want to have one of the components just so overwhelming that you can't enjoy the other aspects of it. You get into it, you get a little bit of that vanilla, but the vanilla gets overrun by some of the rum and then some of the booziness of the beer. So you're not really pulling that out as much. You get a little bit of that syrupy type texture in there as well, and that sweetness that comes through. It's kind of like if you're a person that likes cream of sugar in your coffee, you probably would enjoy this one. But if you don't like that, you probably wouldn't enjoy it as much because it's going to be too sweet for you at a point. But that is the fun thing about doing beers. You get to try all these different things and experiment and find out what you like and don't like. No added brown sugar to the kettle can add those notes. Yeah. And then I don't know if they had any of the ingredients on here. They probably didn't, but they just tell you it's an ale brewed with vanilla beans. And see, in the base version, you pick up the vanilla beans. And this one, you kind of have a little bit of that vanilla, but not as strong because of everything else taking place. That is what it is. I don't think it had a price on that one either. So this was like this at 13.4. No, there was no price on that one. I think I paid maybe three something for that one. I believe it wasn't really an expensive beer at all. I don't remember. Had a couple of BA IPAs that were amazing. Flavors really work together. Malt heavy, yeah. And there's some that do work for sure. It's just I've had some that didn't as well. IPA would be better with a white wine barrel, like a Chardonnay barrel. Softer notes, floral, fruity spices. I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a matter of matching it all up and everything. So I would like to see, because I've had it with one of the breweries out of Texas, out of Adelbert's Brewing. If Foamy has here, he probably knows them. They had one that was a gin barrel beer that was really good. That was a really tasty one. So I like to see more gin barrel type beers out there as well. I do like to have gin once in a while. One of the bottles I got behind me back here. Let's look at it here. This here is actually a bourbon barrel gin that was actually done, which is kind of an interesting, unique feel. Having a gin and having a gin actually bourbon barreled, and it adds a little bit of a different feel to it as well. Whether it's beer, wine, spirits, there's so much experimentation going on right now. It's definitely a nice time to check out the different stuff happening. But yeah, I think I might start experimenting. Simple Man asked me like maybe start experimenting with wines. I might take a look at some wines and try to see what I might want to do there too. All right, Billy's got to go walk the dogs and off to bed for the old man. Old man in the sea, my friend. Hey, well, happy birthday again. I'm glad. Hopefully, it's a great time. Hopefully, the dinner goes well. I don't know if you're doing a dinner tomorrow or on the weekend, but any day you're above ground rather than below is a good day, so enjoy it, my friend. Cheers, brother. Well, I am out of beer right now, and I'm going to go ahead and get ready to shut it down because we'll be back tomorrow night with the Beer Flow show at 9:15. Then we'll get into some of the other beer news and beer stories taking place. Um, if there's anything you're thinking of that you want to talk about, let us know as well. Hopefully, you guys can join us tomorrow. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to take another look at. We'll probably talk some about AB and Bev and the Craft Brew Alliance. A couple missteps by a couple breweries recently on some of the stuff they posted out there. Kind of wondering, like, what were you thinking type situations, and any other beer news we can come up with. But thanks for everybody that came by to take some time. And if you see people in the chat you're not familiar with, I always say hit those three dots next to their name so you can check them out. Backwoods Billy does beer, he does wine, he does spirits. Dad's here, does barbecue, beer, other things out there that he enjoys. Hit the buttons next to their name if you want to see what they're doing in their channels. Brew reviews here, Peter D. And, it's the whole thing. Keep sipping. It's all about socializing and meeting new channels and meeting new people. And make sure you check out some of the other people here. That all being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I will look forward to catching you guys, hopefully, tomorrow night, 9:15. Have a great one. And look forward to talking to you soon. Cheers, everybody. Keep drinking those good craft beers. And we are out.